All right, what's going on, everybody? Jared Leon here with a quick trade recap from today. I want to apologize for not making a video in a few weeks. It's almost been like a month. I got COVID for a few weeks, and I was actually pretty sick. It was just like having the flu, um, and so I was out of it for a little while. I traded here and there, but it was mostly just like I was just trying to sleep. I was just so tired and exhausted. I was just sleeping a lot. So um, it wasn't too bad. I'm not gonna lie. I haven't been sick in years, so to get my girlfriend got it, and I was with her the whole time, and she ended up giving it to me, and we both quarantined together, and she got me nice and sick. So it wasn't too bad. The worst part about it is I'm losing my taste. I lost my taste and smell, so um, that sucks. Good food is no longer good, so it's devastating. But I'm gonna make this a quick one. I do want to say that I haven't been saying it enough, and I don't know if it's in the description here in these videos, but I am not a financial advisor. Everything I'm saying is for entertainment purposes only. So, do your own DD. That's all I got to say. Stock market's risky, you know. So I'm just going to give you a couple of examples of some plays that I traded today, how I traded them, my thought process, and all that good jazz. So we're going to start with DTST. I'm just looking for a multi-day breakout. It did, perk this day here. And let's start over a little bit. Okay, so you always go back to like at least to a year. I look at the 1 year first, and then I usually go back. If I like the chart, the 1 year, I'll go back to the 5 year. Check that out to see if there's anything in the past 5 years that I'm not seeing. Usually it's just the 1 year first, and so you can see it does have big moves. It does. It has a history of spiking, but no volume. As you see, volume is very key. You got to keep an eye on the volume. So this time, this day here, these few days here, it did rip up to about 1250, 1260 on volume, and then faded, put into bottom in the 350s, and then we started to perk back. So, this day it did perk up to like 608, but I'm not going to really count this as a key level because there's no volume. This is the day that I was watching for a multi-day breakout. And it's because it's got all the volume. It's got almost 40 million in volume that day. So it put in a high of, let's go to the 5-day, 5-minute here. And so it put in a high of about 570. Okay. And it's just failing to break down, and it's grinding back up towards that high. Not to mention, this is a super low market cap and a super low float. So this is definitely still on watch, and I will have this on watch for a previous high of day break over the 636. And I'll also be keeping an eye on that 570 level because it is a key level. So today in the morning, it kind of just ripped right up. I wanted to see how dips would hold, how the breakout level would hold. Kind of just sat on my hands. Really wanted some kind of like double bottom, and then maybe some higher lows, just kind of something. I ended up not taking anything here. I did take 10 shares at the high of day at the 595, and I got a nice spike up to 636, but then we instantly faded right back. And you can see the volume died. The volume just died compared to the spike up to 630. And I took another position here. I added 100 shares. I think I added 100 shares here, and just the 570s, and then cut it right away when it kind of just broke down a little bit. It was a little fake out, but I was risking the low here that it put in at like 567. So I had stopped out at like 565, and I was like, okay, whatever. We perked right back up, and then put in a higher low. So I added in here, added like 200 more shares. And then just volume never came back. That was the key thing, is just there's no volume today. It had a little bit of volume through the initial breakout, but the volume just faded, and it had a hard time holding the breakout level. So it, it held pretty nice in here, and that's why I was buying on the dips, but the volume was just not there. There's no news or anything, so it just failed, and I cut it. When I added some more shares, so I had 200 more shares in here, and then I was risking this 560, so I ended up cutting it like 598, 599. I mean 559, 558. So getting the ads in here made this loss like a $70 loss for me, which is, if you're familiar with our videos, I like to trade super small size, because I think what the deal is I'm just trying to trade way too many different patterns, and you really just need one. You just got to master one, and that could be your bread and butter, and then you can start trading and learning other patterns. My problem is I'm just learning. I've learned way too many, and I haven't been able to stick to just one and get really good at one. So that's what I've been trying to work on. And breakouts is the one, that's the one pattern that I'm really trying to play and master. And so it's just a little frustrating because I'm not, dialing it in as fast as I would have liked. So in my opinion, as long as you just never give up, consistently put in time, however much time you can afford to put in, and just keep grinding away at it. You're gonna get it. It's gonna click. You can only lose so many times before you finally just say I've had enough, and you're willing to do whatever it takes to stop losing and start getting some wins in there. So I'm at that point, been at that point where I'm just done losing, ready to really just kind of just keep grinding it out and keep trying to cut out the things I'm doing wrong and just try to improve with every trade. So that was DTST, and the key thing there was, I feel like I attacked it pretty well. I could have gotten some small ads in here, but it was just a failed breakout, and that's all it was. And then volume faded. The other thing is I should have noticed how much the volume faded, and kind of just been a little bit more patient with it, maybe, to make sure that the breakout level did hold, and to wait for some volume to start coming back in to take some entries. But I think I just had too much size, and the volume just wasn't there. And so, I liked how I played it, though. I liked that instead of, I wish I would have bought some small starters in here, but I like the starter here at the high of day break. I like the ads into the dips when it's holding. I don't mind cutting it real quick here and then it put in a bottom. So now I have a clear risk to go off of. Got some more ads when it was holding the breakout again. Like I said, the only key thing, there's no volume. And tried to perk and hold, but it ended up just fading and stopped me out. And that is that. So the other one that I traded was, let me see, DPRO. So many tickers today that I'm just having a hard time remembering them all. So no, it wasn't even this one. This is one I'm watching. I'm watching this for a breakout over this day, low fours, trying to fill the gap. It's got resistance at 5. Just trying to take the quick snipe. And so what I did was I held some, Friday into the close, and just stopped out when it faded in the morning. I was just hoping for some kind of gap up. But this is perfect. It's failing to break down. It's closing at that breakout level, and we'll see what this does tomorrow as well. Definitely on watch. ADAP, that was the one. All right, so this was just low float, low market cap. Actually, it was not a low market cap, higher market cap, low float. I think it was like 11 million float. Gapped up. I don't believe there was any news. I'm pretty sure I checked earlier. And actually, I'll just check right now, because I'm pretty sure I checked and I don't think there's any news, but So I think they had a price target from 5 to 6 or something like that. Their price target rised. Nothing ideal, but so we had a nice gap, and that's basically what it was. It was they raised their price target. Some analysts raised his price target from $5 to $6. So it did have some kind of news, and basically just got the gap up, then faded all morning. And then so how I wanted to play it is some of these plays when they get the gap up in the morning, pre-market, and then they fade, market open. But then they put in a bottom. They fail to break down, and that's just what it did. And it started to grind back up towards the open price. Open price is a key level, so it's going from red on the day to green. I mean, yes, technically it's still green because it's gapping up, right? But on the day, like since it failed to hold the open price right there, the market open, it's very bearish. But when it starts to put in a bottom, grind back, it's above VWAP, and we're kind of just chopping around and we're holding green. It's holding that open price play. That's really bullish. So I snagged 100 shares like on this dip at like 611. Got some more at like 615. Just in this consolidation, just risking off this low of 604. Just so you can kind of, let me see. Yeah, 604. This is the initial low that it kind of put in when it perked back above open price. So 200 shares. We had some, and then the one resistance level I was thinking of was pre-market high, like 652. So that 650 level, that whole dollar, half dollar, key psychological numbers and spots. It's just how people are, don't ask me. That's just what people gravitate towards. So, took a couple hundred shares in here, just having that really tight risk, and kind of just perked up, faded, held. I wanted to add in here, but didn't get an add in here. Perked back up again. And this is where I was really iffy. I was like, okay, I don't really like this that much. It was barely able to perk through high of day. It's got the resistance, the pre-market highs. So then it faded, and I was a little nervous in here. And I thought right here towards the end too, I thought like it's still holding green though. Like it's still holding the open price. Like, yes, this wasn't pretty, but it's still holding the open price and it's failing to break down. So like I wanted to add. I wanted to add in here, and I was really close. I had an order sitting and I cut it right away. I kind of just canceled it right away, and because I did the math on my phone, on my calculator, about how much I would like to risk, and I was already at the point. The 200 shares was already at like my, I think it was like a $20 risk, which isn't much, but like I said, this is not my go-to pattern. So I should have been trading it with a lot of smaller size than I kind of was, just because there's just no need to play it with big size. It's just a gamble, really. I got to track it and get some data on it and figure out, exactly what the best ways to play it, what time of day, what's the criteria. So right now I don't have that. So it's basically a gamble. If I'm going to trade it, it should just be small size. The one pattern I should just be focusing on is the breakouts. And that's the only kind of play I should have any size into. So that is definitely going to be my goal going forward. But yeah, let me stop blabbling on. So I had 200 shares in here. Wanted to add, but just didn't have the guts to do it. Didn't want to risk the money. And then we kind of just shot right up, failed to break down, and we shot right up into the high sixes. And so I took some off at 640, just in case it like triple topped here, and I sold some at 651, just in case pre-market highs held, and then sold the rest at 670. And originally 680 was my original target to sell. So nice to see that it hit 682, but took my snipe for sure. Best sell was 670. And then it just faded into the close. So happy with the sells. Just took the quick snipe. What was I gonna say? I'm totally spacing, but yeah. So got the sells, decent sells. Happy with just taking the snipe, and then that was basically that. So I need to track the open price play and get the statistics on it, get some data on it. That way I can play it with more size and just more appropriate. But yeah, I think I played it pretty well. Besides getting some ads into these dips, I played it pretty well. Had some decent sells. But yeah, that was basically it. That was just my few trades. It kind of just sucked yesterday not having any market open. I still had to work. But I'm happy market's open today. We're back. We're back in action. Hopefully we're going to have just a solid week, just trying to take it day by day. And that's really it, So happy to be back. Happy to not be sick anymore. Happy the market's not dead. We definitely have some plays going on. At least a play a day for sure. So love to see that. Love that like the guys are doing good too. Fatty's been doing pretty good. Lucas is doing pretty good. So it's nice to see everybody doing pretty good. And yeah, I'm excited, happy to be back, ready to rock and roll. So I'm glad. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the website. Bunch of all that free content we got on there. I know Fatty's been on vacation for his birthday. He was on vacation for a couple weeks. I was sick, so it was pretty slow. I know we didn't get a lot of content out there, but we're gonna start speeding that up again. Start getting some more content out there. So keep your phones on loud. Get those alerts. Stay alert. And that is it. I'm going to call it. So have a good one. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.